And then we iterate on that copy and creative to ultimately create ads that really resonate with the market. Okay, today we're going to talk about in the personal injury law space how we were able to spend over $500,000 in a 4-month span to get 315 signed cases, not leads, not calls, but signed cases for a personal injury law firm at $1,600 thereabouts for signed cases through both Google and Meta ads together, actually using them together in tandem, harmonizing them in order to ultimately attract the ideal customer for this law firm and for clients who have been in a serious car accident. So let's get into exactly how we did that here using some of the ads that we ran on Meta in particular. Meta meaning Facebook and Instagram. So this is the law firm here, really well known in the Michigan area. They've won over $1 billion for their clients and are extremely good at what they do. Is one of the largest personal injury law firms in the US. And one of the first things that we did is we installed what's referred to as the Creative Lab. Now, the Creative Lab is a part of an overall super system or framework that we refer to as Customer Acquisition Amplification. For this law firm, we deployed every aspect of customer acquisition amplification. And it's something that usually we only deploy sort of certain parts to it, but we deployed the entire breadth and the strength of this framework, which is the reason why we were extremely successful and helped them to get signed cases and not just leads and calls, which are secondary in the personal injury market, which don't necessarily turn into actual monetary payouts for their clients. So here is customer acquisition amplification. This is sort of one section of it, just the sort of the top part. And when we use this framework, we usually start with the Creative Lab. Now, the Creative Lab is a way that we deep dive into our customers' emotions and the words that they use, the things that they feel, the wants, fears, the voice that helps us develop copy and creative that really connects deeply with them. And then we iterate on that copy and creative to ultimately create ads that really resonate with the market. Now, we're going to be talking mostly here today about how we deployed the Creative Lab in our Meta ads, in our Facebook and Instagram ads. But this same methodology applies for Google Ads as well. Google Ads typically are, for a personal injury law firm, are people who have just been in a car accident and are looking for an attorney right in the here and now. Maybe they might even be on the scene of the accident itself. Whereas on Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, usually these are people that something has happened to them months back or maybe weeks back, and now they're starting to experience symptoms or signs and symptoms of some sort of injury that they didn't experience initially. And now they're sort of considering, should I pursue this? Is there a way in which I can remedy this? Maybe the medical bills are starting to add up. So very different messaging than somebody who's in the here and now. And that's where most law firms focus their energy, on those personal injury lawyer or car accident attorney near me, like all those types of searches. And they miss this entire market, which is a little bit further on away from the immediacy of looking for a lawyer. Maybe they don't really realize that there is a solution that's out there. So all of this here, customer acquisition amplification, you'll see in our ad copy examples is that we take them from unaware all the way down to most aware and ultimately take them to the process where they take the next step and call or fill out a lead form and ultimately to become a signed case and a case that actually has some kind of monetary value. So let's go through the process here that we use inside the Creative Lab. Let's dig deep here. So every level of awareness, as you can see on the top of the levels of customer awareness here, are directly ripped off from the great book from Eugene Schwartz called Breakthrough Advertising. Now, there's usually 5 levels of awareness, and we've added a 6th. We didn't use the 5th or the 6th level here at all. But in Schwartz's book, he talks about there are people that are unaware that they actually have a problem. And then there are people that know that they have a problem, and people that have a problem and understand there's a solution for the problem. And then there's some folks that are aware of the problem, they know there's a solution for the problem, and they have a particular product that they're considering buying or taking the next step on. And what we did is we focused on these top 4 layers here, particularly in our meta ads. In most cases, people who are searching actively for car accident lawyer are solution aware. They're just kind of looking for the right law firm. So those ones are a lot easier. Your ad copy doesn't have to be quite as creative, but you do have to speak to that avatar in terms that they understand or in the immediacy of the need that they're in pain or that they've just experienced some kind of traumatic event in their lives and they need to take that next step. So very different type of messaging here. So we're going to focus on the meta side of the equation a bit more, which works alongside Google if it's done right to either prompt a Google search for the law firm name or in the news feed itself, actually clicking and calling or filling out a form, contacting the office, which does happen as well. So both of those things, or just creating awareness so that maybe the next time they see an ad or maybe they see an ad on TV for this law firm, then they take action. So Facebook is very, very top of funnel. And it's oftentimes sort of given short shrift because it's not the last click that people usually will take action on before they actually call. But it's very important because when Facebook and Google work together, they really blend to create really solid online campaigns and ultimately get customers, in this particular case, this personal injury law firm, get signed cases. And that's the key to it all. So very, very top of funnel, unaware. So these are people that, all right, maybe I'm unaware of the fact that there's this thing called personal injury law that's out there that might be able to help me. So have you been in a car accident? Is your insurance company not offering the money that you deserve? Okay, your company, the insurance company is sort of giving you the runaround here. And maybe you were in a car accident weeks ago or months ago, and now you're starting to experience, these symptoms, but your insurance company really isn't helping you out. So these are the unaware audiences that we target on Facebook and on Meta. When I say Meta, I mean Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, everything that's within those platforms. So they might be scrolling through their newsfeed and might see an ad like this. So you need some kind of curiosity, some kind of hook that allows them to engage with the ad and maybe take the next step, or at the very least, just creates brand awareness so that they then do a Google search for the law firm's name. The next level is problem aware. These people understand that, all right, I have an injury based upon this car accident. Maybe I just don't know what to do as of yet. I have an injury. Should I go the insurance route? Should I pursue some kind of legal action? Maybe they're not aware of the fact that there is a personal injury lawyer that can help them. So they need hope. And these ads look very, very different. This messaging is very different. You could be entitled to millions in a payout and a settlement that will help you pay your medical bills. So, get you out of pain, help you and your family, that kind of thing. So these ads are similar to the unaware ads, but different because this avatar is a little bit further along the continuum of customer awareness. The next level is these people are solution aware. So I realized that I have an injury. I've been in a car accident, and there is a thing called personal injury law that's out there that is potentially the next best step for me to help me and my family. So now I'm just sort of looking for clarity, like which law firm is the one that's for me, which is the one that's going to assure me. It talks to me and my issues. So in this case, we use ad copy similar to, hey, we fight for people in Michigan because this is a Michigan-based client. So these people need clarity, which is different than the other 2 levels of awareness that we've already talked about here, but very distinct. So you're trying to talk to people in your messaging, in your ads, exactly where they are in the customer acquisition path. And then product aware, this is sort of the last one, is these people are all right, they are aware of the fact that they need to choose a particular law firm in the state of Michigan, and they just need some assurance that they're making the right decision. So we use such things as Reader's Choice Awards, logos and trademarks from trade associations that give assurance or engender trust. Michigan's best law firm. This messaging is a little bit differently. So we will use all 4 types of messaging in our ads on the Meta platforms based upon where they are in this sort of customer awareness or this customer acquisition path, ultimately to lead them to either click the ad itself and call, fill out a form, or it prompts them to go over to Google, do a Google search for the law firm's name, which is how Meta and Google work so well together. So let's take a look at some of their actual ads here. These are some examples. And you can actually see a display ad for Google sort of right in the middle there that is a little bit more like the Meta ads. But as you can see, these are the types of ads that generate awareness. Okay, you can see there's a video of Mike way out on the left-hand side, or he's in the suit and tie, and then there's a customer testimonial or a textimonial, as we call it. That might be more of an assurance kind of ad for somebody who's maybe solution or product aware at that level. And then we have, Michigan's best law firm. We've got different kinds of messaging here because Facebook provides you the opportunity to generate high levels of cold traffic, which can assist Google in its retargeting for brand searches. So we're trying to create awareness and generate, all right, well, I see this ad for best law firm in Southeast Michigan. I'm going to go Google Mike Morse Law Firm, which very important for us to be able, and we'll talk about that in just a second here, to be able to rank for the trade name, for the brand names, so that the Google ad will then pick up and get sort of the 6-inch putt after Facebook has maybe done some of the awareness, or maybe some of the billboard ads that this law firm has been running, or maybe some of the Super Bowl ads or TV ads that they've been running in the past. It generates that awareness and then prompts that Google search. And then over on the right-hand side, you can see some of the ads that we started to run for this law firm, which is very much in line with their branding, or ads that we call sort of casual Mike, very different than a lot of law firms where, there's a guy in a 3-piece suit with his arms folded, in front of a courthouse with pillars in the background, with a frown on his face. This is a very different type of law firm. These guys are friendly, they're approachable. They make some really sort of funny videos. They're very distinct, but it speaks to the character of their brand. And it's important for that to come through in your ads as well when you're creating these types of awareness with some calls to action. And you can actually see in the casual Mike ad on the right-hand side, there is a call now. So that's a button where they click. It's a Facebook dedicated phone number that is then tracked through our tracking, our conversion tracking for a phone call, which ultimately turns into a lead, which then through a case review process ultimately turns into a signed case, or a case that actually has a chance of having some kind of payout, some kind of settlement associated with it. So that's really, really important. Is you don't want to optimize everything for just top of funnel stuff, but you really want to optimize your ads for is signed cases. And that's what we did here, getting 315 of those things as opposed to just leads, which in a lot of cases might be spam, might not be worthwhile. Maybe they're, workers' comp, or they're slip and fall cases, not the types of cases that these guys really deal with, which they end up having to refer a lot of that stuff out. So you can see some of these ads worked really, really well. These are some other ads, a little bit more on the casual side. You can see the brand coming through, wearing the sort of the casual shirt. Yeah, he's got the suit and tie on in the middle, but smiling. This is the law firm. This is what these guys do. They are approachable. They're happy. They're wanting to help their customers, and the way that you do that is by having the brand sort of come through on these ads. And this is a differentiator. These guys look different than everybody else in the market. And as a result of that, they're very good at very, very top of funnel on Facebook and on Meta, which, like I said, in this case, we have all of these ads are apply now. These goes to a Facebook form, which is then filled out or pre-populated with Facebook information that the potential client has filled in as a part of their profile, and then it then potentially prompts a callback from the office, whereupon they become a lead, and then they evaluate their case and then decide over the course of a couple of weeks or so as to whether or not the case actually has legs and whether it can be a signed case. So very, very important to have your tracking set up here, have your offline conversions set up here, have every step, every event firing so that you're optimizing for the right event, which obviously leads and calls are important, but signed cases are actually really important. And that feedback loop tells Facebook to find more people that are signed cases and not just people who are maybe looky-loos or maybe have the wrong type of case that doesn't really apply to this particular law firm. So super important to establish that very clearly. And as you can see, like we do the apply now call to action here as opposed to the call now. We tried lots of different things, and obviously the brand is very, very consistent with sort of the more casual look for the law firm. So these worked extremely well in concert with the Google ads to really start getting more higher levels of awareness and tapping into that audience that isn't in the moment. These people are typically not the ones who the accident just happened and are calling from their phone on the site of the accident. These are people who have experienced symptoms. Maybe the accident was weeks ago or maybe months ago. And now these ads are creating an awareness level where it then prompts them to take the next step, whether it's a Google search or whether it's actually filling out an application or calling the office directly from the ads themselves. So this is sort of what happened here with the Tier 11 takeover. We took over, and this is for brand search. These are some of the initial results that we experienced, and those initial results were pretty darn good. Now, once you have a level of awareness on Facebook or on Meta, on Instagram, and people search for the brand name, Mike Morse Law Firm, they're super smart. They actually have a page where if they spell it wrong, it goes to a different page that actually allows them to be able to fill out a form too. Like they cover a lot of their bases here. Is when we took over, the problem is that their Meta ads were generating a lot of Google searches, but they were not appearing. Their ads were not appearing in every search. In fact, they were only appearing in about 58% of searches, which is really not very good. They should be appearing in nearly 100% of searches. And also, in those first 3 months, their cost per click when people would click on their own ads after they saw a Facebook ad or after they saw a Super Bowl ad or a billboard or any other advertising that they did, they were paying $24 a click for their own brand name, which is way too much. So we flipped the script here, changed the bidding strategy to a manual bidding strategy from smart bidding, and the cost per click immediately went down to about $11 per click. As you can see here on the blue line is your cost. Okay, their cost for this is just for brand search. This isn't for any of the car accident lawyer or car accident attorney searches. This is just for like Mike Morse Law Firm or Mike Morse, whatever it happens to be. And you can see our cost per click decreased dramatically after a couple of months working together. And the impression share, which is the number of times or the percentage of searches where their ad actually appeared, went nearly to 100%, which is what you want. So somebody sees an ad on Meta that says, creates brand awareness for Mike Morse. Then they Google it. And what are these guys all about? Right? Maybe I don't even click on the ad. Maybe I just view it and then I go, do my Google search in a new window and click Mike Morse ad. If I don't see his ad, maybe I'll click and go to another attorney. So they were losing business from their Facebook ads. In 42% of cases, their ads weren't even appearing. It may or may not have appeared in the organic searches, but the point was is above the fold, they weren't appearing. So this was a really big deal. So we got them to appear nearly 100% of the time, and we reduced that cost per click to a more reasonable $11 per click, which is the reason why Facebook, Meta, and Google really started to work well together to synergize, which is the big part to personal injury law. Is you use all the platforms that can help you find the customers or your ideal customer wherever they are in your customer acquisition path. Some are in the moment on Google, and some are a little bit longer or sort of after that point in time. And usually you can capture them on the Meta platform. So these initial results were pretty astounding here, which led to these results here, which allowed us to be able to spend a fair amount of money in a very short period of time. And we're continuing to scale this campaign up as we speak, getting 315 signed cases, not calls, not leads, signed cases at $1,600 a pop, which could be worth potentially for the recipients of those cases millions of dollars. And the average is anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000 on a payout for a personal injury law firm. It depends on the case, depends on the type of accident. In most cases, in a car accident, that's a pretty good return here. So this could potentially be worth millions in revenue to the law firm and millions in settlements for the people that were in car accidents and are really looking for help. So that is just one more part of this overall case study. If you'd like our help in helping you, if you're a personal injury lawyer, we'd love to talk to you about how we can help deploy customer acquisition amplification, and in particular the Creative Lab, to help you scale and grow your business. Or, if you're a personal injury lawyer or you work with one and you're looking for more ways in which to acquire more clients through paid media, stay tuned to this channel here or subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.